If the sun don't come, you get your tan from standing in the English rain. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you may happen to be watching. I'm Brian Carpenter, the sports editor of the Record Journal, broadcasting to you live, sorta, from Pragerman Park in Wallingford, hoping to catch my tan that ain't gonna come anytime soon. Folks, we are at the pivot point, the midway point of the spring season. Here in our Athletes of the Week contest for the spring season. We're at Pragerman Park where Lyman Hall and Sheehan will be playing their second rivalry game in softball in just a moment. We are coming off of week 4, which is our big rivalry week, Yogi Berra week, you'll remember. A lot of our nominees were rivals, and the votes are in from week 4, and we are happy to report that a lot of the rivals actually did pretty good going head-to-head in our polls. If you remember, we had for the boys from Platt, baseball player Carson Coon, pitcher. We had from Lyman Hall, goaltender for lacrosse, Ryan Nemec. And we had from Southington, golfer Nate LaRue. For the girls, we had Maloney softball player Anna Hendrickson. From Sheehan lacrosse, we had Emily Giacondino. And we also had, from Cheshire softball, Miss Bree Floyd. Don't worry, Bree, I remember you, babe. Now, the voting was extremely close, especially among the girls. Very, very close. In the end, though, it came down to 2 kids from 2 rival schools. We are happy to report that in a week in which many of our nominees did very well, not only in the week in which we nominated them, but in the week that followed, our winners were Carson Coon from Platt Baseball, who followed up his 3-hitter against Maloney with a 2-hitter this past Monday against Farmington. And the girls' winner, his counterpart from Maloney High School, Maloney softball, Anna Hendrickson. Check out our video. Shawnee Crossett caught up with the pair at Thorpe Avenue.
Hi, this is Sean Crofsick here, the Meriden Record Journal. I'm here with the 2 Athletes of the Week here on Rivalry Week here, the Meriden Record Journal Athlete of the Week contest. Platt's Carson Coon and Anna Hendrickson of Maloney. Both had monster games this week against their rivals. And Carson, you know, you're here on enemy territory, and you know, how does it feel to you to be Athlete of the Week?
It feels great. I love the recognition. I like that I could get a lot of teachers, friends, teammates, people to vote for me.
Yeah, and how about you? Just to be recognized?
Yeah, it feels really good, and like it's good to like get people to notice.
Yeah, yeah. How again? It's just how special are these games that you play against your rivals?
They're really something like that you remember.
Yeah. And you had the 13 strikeouts, and you had 10 against Farmington. 11, yeah. So you had it working this year.
Yeah.
You've had it working this year. So yeah, we're honored to have them here. 2 very worthy winners.
The rivalry games are intense. You know, the crowd is definitely amped up. You get a lot more people, and you're under the lights at SEPA. So every out feels more intense than a normal game, and you just go in and fighting harder. I felt good out of the gate, and my team had a great IO that day, so I knew that I could put the ball over the plate and trust it to put it in the strike zone, and I knew they'd be behind me. I'm not surprised because I know I get in a lot of good positions to win the game. I've gotten great run support, and I've been able to hold teams down and got great defense behind me. My best pitch probably this year is my fastball. Whether it's putting it by someone or just spotting it outside or high, I've been able to do pretty much whatever I needed to do with it this year. I tried to put in a lot of work, and not just with my pitching, but with my offense, because last year I wasn't reliable at the plate, but this year I'm a little better. But pitching-wise, I definitely did a lot strength-wise and worked on my off-speed pitches. That felt just as good because, I mean, it gave my team a huge boost, and they were all on base for me, so I knew I wanted to get them in, and it felt real good because it helped us get to the win.
Those games, like even for volleyball, those games kind of like hype me up because like it's the crosstown rival, like it's been that way for so long. Like I remember my mom like always telling me stories about how much like energy is in the room, or like on the field and such. So like I like bringing that to the field and like even like the court or anything. It just kind of like an extra motivation. It was very intense because it was obviously our crosstown rival, and it was a chance to get the 250 win for my coach. At the beginning of the season, I know I struggled a little bit with managing my weight and my swing, and in that game, it just kind of all felt together when I swung. So like as soon as I hit it, like it just felt right. That'd have to be like, that was all my coach right there, because we practiced that a while, and we definitely practiced it, and we definitely wanted to put it to use, and I was just glad that I could be the one to put it into from practice into play. Last year, it was me, Izzy, and Emily in the outfield, and before we'd go out, we would just like say, hey, let's make a handshake. And then Izzy kind of just said, let's include the dab, like, and we were like, okay. So then we just kind of made it up, and ever since we just do it. And it's just something to laugh about. I'm looking forward to the next Platt one, obviously. Plainville, and pretty much all of them. I'm ready.
Folks, we hope you enjoyed that video clip of Carson, Coon, and Hannah Hendrickson up at beautiful Dunn Sports Complex up on Thorpe Avenue, a site of many a beautiful sunset. We're here at Pragaman Park. There will be no sunset today, at least not behind these clouds, or they are behind the clouds. We're just not going to see it. Henceforth, that is why this is the I Am the Walrus edition of the Athletes of the Week contest, because this is more like Newfoundland than New England. But we muddle through. We're going to get through this spring. Like I said, we're at the halfway point. We have our Week 5 cast of nominees. Tonight, it's Wednesday night, as you can tell. Lyman Hall and Sheehan about to play softball. Lyman Hall and Sheehan played baseball last Thursday night up at West Side Field in Wallingford. This game went to extra innings, of course. Lyman Hall was looking to follow up its win over Sheehan. This game goes to extras. Lyman Hall had a lead. They let it get away, went to the 8th inning, and Sheehan gets its first 2 guys aboard, and up comes Nick Gonsalves, and his job is to, of course, bunt the runners into scoring position. Good sound strategy. Nick's all game, gets the signs from Coach Matt Altieri. Problem is, well, Nicky doesn't get the bunt down. Fails one time, fails the second time, but what do you do when first you don't succeed? Of course, you swing away and you drive an 0-2 pitch into center field that brings in what proves to be the game-winning run in Sheehan's 5-4 victory last Thursday over the Trojans at Westside. And for that game-winning base hit, Nick Gonsalves, a junior at Sheehan, is a nominee for Week 5 RJ Athletes of the Week. Our second nominee from Maloney High School is a boys volleyball player. All 3 of our boys volleyball teams are doing very well this year. Cheshire, at 13-0 going into tonight's game with Massac, is one of 2 undefeated teams we have left on our radar screen since the Cheshire softball team got beat on Monday night against Guilford 3-1. Now, Maloney, good squad. Got a fantastic player in Melvin Polanco. Little problem though, Melvin suffered a concussion and he was out of the lineup. So other guys had to step up, and there's some other good players on that team, no question. And this week's nominee from Maloney, Michael Lorenzo, is one of those players. With Melvin out of the picture, Michael stepped up. He puts up good numbers. He put up even better numbers. He had 12 digs and 10 kills in a win against NFA, and he had 12 digs again and 11 kills in a 3-2 loss to Buckley. He has, and I'm going to go to my magic pad that I have secretly stowed right here under my chair. Going into tonight's match with South Windsor, Michael Lorenzo for the season has 118 digs and 71 kills. Michael, you're having a good season. Kid, we're nominating you this week for Athlete of the Week, Week 5 Record Journal Athletes of the Week.
Leading first base.
Our third boys nominee from the world of golf. Again, great golf being played this spring in all of our towns. This week, we turn to Cheshire, where senior Dan Skeena had 3 medals last week. He won 2 outright, shared another one with teammate Owen Reach. Owen and Dan shot a 42 against Southington at Southington Country Club. That's neutral turf for both of those teams. Neither plays there as a matter of course, no pun intended. Dan went on later in the week to shoot a 39 down at Madison Country Club. against Guilford, I believe, and by the end of the week he was shooting a 38 on his home turf at the Farms. Dan Skeena, in the grand scheme of things, you are our third boys nominee for Week 5 RJ Athletes of the Week. Turning to the girls, and you could turn your attention right over my shoulder because our first girls nominee for Week 5 is playing in this very game tonight. Sheehan girl, Lyman Hall girl. Well, I'll tell you this, whoever wins this game tonight will probably have a nominee next week. For now, here in Week 5, we're going with a young slugger from Lyman Hall. Her name is Sierra Rich, and last week Sierra Rich hit 2 home runs. Okay, kids hit home runs, but dig this. On Monday against Cheshire, Sierra hit one against Abby Abramson. That's no joke, because Abby's about as good as they come. Sierra hit a home run off of her. And then the next game against Shelton, Sierra hit a bomb into the trees beyond the fence. Coach Rob Brewster for Lyman Hall said it's the farthest home run he's ever seen. He's been coaching for a while. Sierra Rich, only a sophomore, she bombed 2 home runs last week. We'll see what she does tonight. For now, she is girls nominee number 1 for the RJ Athletes of the Week contest, week number 5. Sticking with the game of softball, and already I've detected a trend or a theme that I didn't quite prepare for, but I recognize we now have, given Sierra Rich is a sophomore and our other 2 nominees that follow her are freshmen. It seems to me that this is our Young Sluggers Week, and now all 3 of these girls are not softball players. The next one is, she comes from Wilcox Tech. She's a freshman, Katie Ray Gadeke, having a tremendous rookie year there for the Indians. At 17-0 going into today's game at Capital Prep, Wilcox Tech softball, along with Cheshire Boys volleyball team, the 2 undefeated squads in our area. Gadeke had a stretch last week where she hit 3 home runs in as many games. She had a home run Wednesday, and then this past Monday she hit 2, including both actually that went over the left field fence at Wilcox Tech. Say hey, Katie Ray Gadeke. Girls nominee number 2, RJ Athletes of the Week contest, week number 5. And our third young slugger actually plays tennis. This girl, Abby Murphy, over at Southington. Only a freshman. Coach Robin Thompson has been raving about this girl all season long. Freshman, she plays number 2 singles, which means she is going up by and large against older, more experienced players. Hasn't made a difference. Abby is 10-1 on the season. That was her record going in today's match against Northwest Catholic. She had a tremendous match last Friday, and this is what finally induced me to listen to my friend Robin Thompson about making Abby Murphy a nominee. She had a 3-set match in Glastonbury. Glastonbury, of course, has a very strong tennis program. Abby was down in the 3rd set, 5-2. She was on the ropes, battled back to win 7-5. Abby Murphy, you are our 3rd and final nominee. Record Journal Athletes of the Week, Week 5. Now, remember, all of you nominees, you are eligible to apply for the Wallingford Buick GMC $5,000 scholarship. My man Pete is going to put up a little information on the screen there to show you where to go and apply $5,000. Take the time out from your busy schedules, from your home run hitting, and from your great golf. Go and apply. $5,000 scholarship. All athletes of the week, all scholar athletes, all Record Journal team selections, you will be invited to the Record Journal Best of the Bunch Awards Brunch on June 25th at the AquaTurf. Kids from the fall and winter seasons, you have already probably received your invitations. Kids from the spring, keep in your list. You'll be getting your invites. Bear in mind, baseball and softball, those are the all Record Journal teams we pick for the spring. And we're just about ready to finalize those teams and let kids know who has been selected. I am Brian Carpenter, the sports editor of the Record Journal. I'd like to thank Sean Krofsick and Carson Coon and Anna Hendrickson for getting together over at Thorpe Ave. My man Pete Paguago, always a pleasure to work with him. Folks, get online and vote. The polls are open as we speak. Pete will again show you the address where you go and vote. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the game.